Hello everyone, and welcome back to Semi Control Chaos, and today I'm going to be doing another theory slash discussion video because you guys seem to love them. And today, honestly, I'm just going to be doing this because this is really the only show I've been keeping up with for a while, and I've been thinking this to myself for a while, so I figured I would just put it out there and see what you guys think about it. So, the theory I'm going to put forward today is, why do gems have humanoid forms? So, if I remember right, Garnet said she came to Earth 5,750 years ago, and that's when the rebellion was going on. So, I'm going to estimate that the first landing was probably somewhere around 6,000 years ago. So, I think that's around 4,000 BC, or I know there's another one for that, but BC is the only one I can think of right now. But um, so after doing a small bit of research, actually it took a while, but still, I figured out that that was right around the Bronze Age, I believe. Egypt was established. I think the world population I've researched was like somewhere between 7 and 14 million. Even if my time's a little off here, if I remember my history class right, is it Babylon? Yeah, Babylon was still established way before Egypt. So there was human civilization, and they had started using tools and farming and everything else. And I was thinking, what happens if the gems were not looking human at that point, and they, yes, were very capable of interstellar travel, obviously, and they had tools, weapons, whatever, but they were having issues maybe using them. Like, they saw the humans and they're like, oh hey, look at these beings, they have these forms that allow them to use tools and travel, and they don't occupy a lot of space because they're taller, cylindrical shape rather than any other shape they might have, like bigger, round, rocky. I don't know. At this point, if it's kind of insert whatever you think a sentient female alien space rock may look like. Yeah, that I guess is a possibility. I'll go with that. Wait, is there a link? What is this thing? Okay. Excalibians? Wait. What? Did I did I find a precursor or something? Did they base their friggin' gems off of this thing? Maybe. That's holy shit. Okay, this is kind of a lucky thing, I guess. That's kind of interesting. I'll leave this in here. Anyway, moving on. So anyway, back to the theory. Part of me thinks that it was possibly Pink Diamond's idea to implement this new form among the gem species or race or whatever they are. I'm not quite sure. And I imagine it caught on quickly, as it's the form that they're still using today. And I think that that would be very interesting for one character in particular, and that character being Yellow Diamond. Now, you have to put this into perspective for a second. Pink Diamond brought forth this new idea of saying, hey, why don't we use these forms for our work and whatever else, because it's far more productive than the forms we're using. I imagine the Diamonds probably hemmed and hawed about it and then eventually just accepted it. And then Pink Diamond was shattered. And Yellow Diamond just wanted nothing to do with Earth anymore, but from what we've seen recently, she just wants to just, like, forget it ever existed, just have it blown up, whatever. Well, there's a couple things interesting with that. One, we know that she wanted the zoo to be shut down, but she didn't overly seem to oppose it being open. I'm gonna just play that off to it has some scientific whatever, so she can reason that away. But think about it. If their original forms were different, every single gem is walking around with a humanoid form. She's using a humanoid form. So it is a constant visual reminder of the past. Every gem is using this form. And she's obviously just reminded of it daily. And she's stuck in this form because she can't. I've seen some people say they can't be poofed. I think they can be poofed, but that aside, I don't think that she can be proved easily. It probably had to be by another diamond or something equally as strong, yada yada. So it really does, if this is true, draw her out as a more tortured character because she obviously just wants nothing to do with Earth, really. Yet there's this constant nagging thing, and she's even, every time she looks in the mirror, she sees this form. That would be a very interesting character development point for me, anyway. So, in the episode Gregg the Babysitter, we learn from Rose that gems just pop out of the dirt when they know exactly who and what they're supposed to be. And I imagine some people will go, oh, well, why don't they look like their original forms? You know, when they first pop out of the dirt, why do they seem to pop out of the dirt human? Well, I think they work sort of like computers, like when they put the gem material in the dirt and wait for it to incubate, they put in some form of data or code that kind of lets the gem know what it's going to form into. I've seen the promo for the new Steven bomb coming up, and in Homeworld we see like the kindergartens there, it's the same shape. I think that either we're going to maybe see some holes that did not resemble like the humanoid shape. Come think of it, actually, for the kindergartens, that humanoid hole that's always in the wall, that could possibly be way more uniform than whatever they were shaped like before, because it could be very sporadic and hard to space out. But with the humanoid form, it could just be, you know, very uniformly put out. Or set out, however. And to me, this could also possibly have a role in corruption. Now, we've learned that corruption's more mental than physical, as Steven can't heal corrupted gems, at least not fully. And in the episode Monster Reunion, we can see Centipedal reforming. She is taking initially on the humanoid shape before she reverts into the centipedal form. To me, this is the original data trying to kick in, but then the corruption like overrides it and sends them into possibly maybe what they used to look like. They could have looked like bugs or golems or any other miscellaneous corrupted creature we've seen in this show. And to me, I think that's what the corruption song or beam or whatever was. It's basically just a long range broadcast that like sends out like a line of code or data or whatever that puts this into a gem's basically just data banks or whatever you want to choose to call it. I'm just saying it's computer because I don't know of any other thing that's similar to this. And the fact that they are basing their current form off of humanoid forms is one of the biggest reasons why I think Yellow Diamond just hasn't completely went full throttle against demolishing the zoo. I believe that the humans there are kept sort of as a template or study material, basically. They probably have cameras watching them every hour of the day, like figuring out how the body works, and if they die, they probably examine it that way. Not to be very morbid here, but I mean, if they're scientists, I mean, it's what they do. And say that they lose the template. Well, they have this basically backup template just sitting there at the zoo. They can go in there and scan a human's form, or they can do whatever it takes to get the data that needs to be put into the gems. And one more interesting note here. I noticed that the food or the fruit in the zoo seemed to be organic, gem hybrid kind of thing. Well, what if, as I mentioned, the scientists have been experimenting with humans for thousands of years? Going off that logic, there could potentially be hundreds or thousands of beings like Steven. They could very possibly know exactly what he is and how he functions. So maybe when he's at Homeworld, we'll see maybe more people like him, or maybe tools or drones or whatever they're specifically designed to hunt people or things like him down and bring them in if they escape or get loose from their containment or whatever. Because in Jailbreak, I think was the episode, we see Steven, he just walks right through the energy wall, and yeah, it jacks them a little bit, but not terribly. Like he can physically walk through it. I think it would be interesting if we saw Homeworld have countermeasures for beings like Steven. It would really just kind of flesh out the story a little bit more to me. Now, personally, I wouldn't want there to be like thousands of things like Steven, because it kind of takes away from the whole, I guess, interest of the show. Because if there's just thousands of things like him, it's like, oh, well, he's really not that special. And I would think less than 10, I think, would be my ideal number for that, honestly. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been a little while since I uploaded. I was just trying to get a few things in order and trying to come up with a bit more material. I had filmed some other videos I was going to put up, but wouldn't you know it, I've lost my camcorder. So right now it's going to be a little while before those are uploaded. It was during a point, I think 2 weeks ago now, where I was at a relative's house and they didn't have internet, so I was just filming whatever is filler content. So I had enough material to where I would have been caught up when I came back, but now I'm gonna have to scramble a little bit, at least until I find that camcorder. So one last thing, I've noticed the subscriber count going up a little bit, and thank you all so much for that, but I notice I'm getting fairly close to the 100 subscriber milestone. By the rate it's been going up, I suspect we should be there, I don't know, less than maybe 4 or 5 months. Just roughly. It could be sooner, could be much later, I don't know. It's going to vary mainly on you guys. But I was scratching my brain for a little while trying to come up with ideas for like a thank you video basically, and I've seen people do Draw My Life, I've seen people do a variety of different things. So I was wondering if you guys could throw out some ideas of the milestone video, just to kind of know what you'd like to see and not see kind of thing. But anyway, guys, I've wasted more than enough of your time in this video. So if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.